Well, hey there, Tall Man Clan.
Actually, I think I'm on.
Lisa's on. Look at
I'm
Lisa.
on.
Hey there, Tall Man Clan. Let's flip that around. Let's flip that around. All right, there we go. Today we're doing something really neat. We're checking something else off the bucket list. We're in Oatman, Arizona. Oatman, Arizona. And as you can see, looking down there, this is an old mining town from the mid 1800s. And you see what's real special? You see that? That's a burrow. Absolutely. Come on through, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, it's okay. We're just live streaming. Okay. We won't say anything. Okay. The burrows roam free around here. And so we're going to go feed one in a couple minutes. But I wanted to tell you what's special about Oatman. Oatman's actually named after a little girl. Her family was massacred by the Indians, and she was captured by one tribe. And then ultimately she was sold to the Mojaves, who later released her. And so this town is named after her. The oldest building still standing is the Oatman Hotel, which I'll show you down there in a minute. There was a fire here in the 1920s and destroyed a lot of the smaller buildings. That's the oldest building still standing. You see the burros down there fighting. Oh, well, they're not fighting now. Anyway, and so for a time, this was one of the richest gold mining areas. In the time, they pulled out what would be the equivalent today of over $700 million in gold out of the mines right here. So come on, let's take a look at what's around. We were standing right in front of the post office. Lisa, if you spin around, there's the post office. And if you mail something from here, it does get the Oatman stamp. All right, so let's go on down here. This is where all the fun happens, down here. Lisa and I have wanted to go to an old ghost town or a mining town. People do call this a ghost town, but I'm not so sure of that. But it's definitely an old mining town. But look at this. I mean, just imagine there's no pavement here. It's nothing but dirt and horses and covered wagons. I mean, this is what it looks like, right? Imagine you're back in the 1850s, right? Now, as a tourist destination, I mean, there's bars, there's restaurants. Even though it says a hotel, I don't think they actually have rooms there now. Yeah, it's a nice place to come for a visit. I would spend, 2-3 hours, but yeah, nice stop. What's also cool is on the weekend, they do reenactments. And so they do like an old a gun shootout battle, sort of right in the middle of the street. And so that's pretty cool. That happens on the weekends, though. I believe only on the weekends. Oh, here's my friend. I fed him earlier. Let's go see this guy over here. Again, if you guys are just joining the stream, we're in Oatman, Arizona. We're at about 2,700 feet. This is an old mining town. Something Lisa and I wanted to do was see an old mining town, and this one has some great history to it. So let's go over there. We're going to feed a burro. Come on. This will be cool. We actually brought a bag of carrots with us, but you can't feed them carrots. They sell little food for you to feed them. It's like $1, so it's very, very cheap. And you get a big bag of these alfalfa nuggets. So let's go see this other one.
Yeah, got a little bit of skin with that last nip. And I think he did it on purpose.
Right? Isn't that cool?
How is he cool? Yeah,
All right, so I'm going to take this from Lisa. Lisa, you want to grab that from me?
Yep.
And put that in the backpack while we're walking. You can put it anywhere. So there's lots of neat things here. So this is the Oatman Hotel. As you can see, it was built in 1902. Everybody say hello. One of its sort of claims to fame is that Clark Gable stayed there on the night of his wedding for his honeymoon. But I believe it's been later proved that he didn't. They actually drove back to LA for a press conference. Okay, there's a nice general store. It's super, super picturesque, especially with the backdrop of the mountains back there. It's absolutely amazing. Now remember, this hotel is actually now a landmark, and so it's kept up. It needs a little bit of work, right? You can see the gutters up there, but yeah, built in 1902. And as I said, there was a big fire here. I believe it was in 1924, and so most everything burned down. And so a lot of what you see was obviously rebuilt. Some of it newer than other things, but this was a bustling little gold mine town. You know, you had your saloon and brothels, and there's a jail down here, an old jail. We can go see that, but really, really neat place to come and visit. Isn't it pretty cool?
Yeah.
So if you ever want to go somewhere off the beaten path, this place is it. What you're looking at, believe it or not, this road is part of the old Route 66. And after the mining was shut down by the government, the town still, was pretty popular because it sort of catered to tourists and travelers that were traveling off to California. And then, of course, in the 50s, they rerouted the Route 66. And so this place basically became abandoned. It became a ghost town. And it's just sort of recently that it's really more turned into a tourist sort of location to come in and check things out, right? Right? Because of these guys, because they just roam around everywhere. In fact, here we go, Lisa. Let's go ahead and give this guy a little treat after this truck drives by.
He's enjoying his treat.
Right?
Yeah.
See the little baby over there? Look at the little baby. Little baby burro. So these burros here are descendants of the original burros that were brought here and used by the miners. The burros were used to move the rock and the ore, food and water, if you will, as well, but move the ore and the rocks out of the mines. And then when everything was shut down, when the people left, they just let the burros go. And so they basically live up in the mountains that you're seeing back here. And then, but during the day, they come down here and, again, they have free range here. This is what's called open range area, which means they get to roam free. If you don't want them on your property, then it's your job as the property owner to fence your property off to keep the animals out. But basically, they get to roam free. Look at this guy. He's looking for more. He's coming over.
Oh, he is. Look at that.
Maybe she, I don't know. There you go.
What? There's always the YouTube. You can figure out how to fix it.
There you go. Right? Oh, yeah, it's good stuff. Isn't that super neat? It's just walk around. This is an American town, right? It's all on old Route 66 here in Arizona. We're sort of in the middle of the state, but very, very close to the California border. That'll give you some references to where it is. Not too far from Lake Havasu. yeah, it was not too bad of a drive to get up here. There's camping all around. We saw lots of boondockers on our way up here, so you know, if you want to make a thing of it, there's places for you to stay. Got it? Grabbing some more friends. Come over here.
Oh, I think so.
Oh, there's the baby. Hi, buddy, just wait. How big of a hurry can you be in?
Right? This might not be all that exciting to you guys, but we're digging it.
To feed carrot carrots. Bad for 'em. What? What's bad for 'em?
All right, I'm gonna run across the street and get this one. Truck passes.
Yeah, let's wait for that truck. Might be a good idea.
Let us know if anybody who's watching, if you've ever been here before, or any place like this. When I was much younger, I went to some old ghost towns before with my family, but I've never been to a town where burros run around free. Let us know in the comments if you're watching the replay if you've ever been to a place like this before. We'll wait for the other one. Come on down. We're gonna go back here because here's the jail. I'll take that from you.
Alrighty.
So the old jail is back here. And so I can just, you know, Lisa and I, when we're traveling, sometimes we have an HD antenna on top of the RV. And so we go ahead and pick up just local channels. And the local channels, we get grit. And so we watch a lot of the old Westerns. And that's what this place reminds me of. It says no trespassing, so I guess we're not allowed to go back there, but the jail's right there. So maybe we can just sort of sneak around the corner. Well, it says they're open, but obviously they're not. But that's, I don't know, it's got a strange looking tin roof, but I guess that's the old jail. So if you were in one of the saloons, one of the brothels and got out of hand, I guess that's where you ended up at. But look at this. There's the best view right there. Obviously, I don't think they did A-frames back in the day, but that's the best view of the town right up there. But when we were driving up here, what just an amazing drive coming up here. And then all of a sudden, just sort of off this winding road, there's this little town. Just seems like in the middle of nowhere. And so there's all kinds of gift shops and little things that you can buy. And as I mentioned, there's a restaurant, all kinds of fun stuff. So let's go over here and give this guy a little snack. Hey, buddy. You want a snack? There you go. There you go.
Is that when they open their mouth and then close it? And open their mouth and close it.
Is
What
it-
is he saying by doing that?
I have no idea.
Me neither. He looks thirsty.
I would think so, standing out in the sun all day, right?
I'm thirsty.
This one's got his tongue out, right? So there we go. We just wanted to show you a little bit of our trip to Oatman. If you watched our last stream, we are having some editing challenges with our computer. So normally we would have just videoed someplace like this and created a produced video, if you will. But since editing has become incredibly challenging for us right now with my computer situation, we decided to just do an actual real live stream and take you through the town of Oatman, Arizona. Old mining town, founded in the mid-1800s. This was one of the late boom gold rush type cities. There was one gentleman, his claim, they found over $10 million of gold with his claim. And overnight, the word spread and the population of this city grew by 3,500 people in just a matter of days. And so a lot of rich history here. And so, you know, if you're into this kind of thing, Oatman, Arizona is definitely something you might want to put on your bucket list. So I guess that's about it, Lisa. Let me turn it around this way. There we go, so we can have that beautiful, look at that in the background. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that so cool? Anyway, we hope you like it. Well, there's actually some people there now. Thanks for joining the stream. Let us know if you have any questions while we're still here. We were going to end the stream, but we know we put it up kind of late because we didn't know how long it was going to take us to get here. So leave a comment down there in the chat while we're still here. If you want to know about the history again, we'll gladly tell you. If you're watching the replay, we thank you for watching. You know, if this is the first time you found us, do us a favor. Help support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We also now have a Patreon channel. The link will be down in the description when we're done, but it's just patreon.com/tallmanclan. All right. So Lisa's trying to read the comments.
I am.
So while she's trying to read the comments, let's go feed a burro.
I can't make out the first name. It looks like Boykin, and it says I love Arizona.
We're gonna go feed the burro again. Here you go, buddy.
Nice here. Unlike so many parts of the country where it's snowing.
There you
it's
go.
hot here.
Yeah, I think it's about 86 degrees today.
Melinda, she says go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We were gonna head there, but we're gonna end up going there later in the year. We just didn't have enough time to get there. It was going to be nearly 300 miles for us, and it wasn't just going to be a day trip. And so we really only have time to do some day trips. You want another one? You want another one? Yeah? I think he wants another one.
I think so.
There you go. Yeah, so there's Oatman. There's the backdrop, right? Just imagine, back in the day, no telephone poles, no paved road, right? Just dirt and horses and carts and of course burros. I can just imagine, right? Absolutely beautiful. I agree 100%. So we thank you guys for joining. If you want us to show anything specific before we stop, you know what? Let's just do this one more time. We'll go to the top of the street, and since people are just now joining the stream, we'll just do a quick walk down. Recapping where we started, Oatman was founded in the mid-1850s. It was named after a little girl. I believe her first name was Virginia. Her and her family were pioneers heading out west, and they ran into some Indians, and unfortunately her family was slaughtered, the whole wagon train. They captured the little girl, Virginia, and ultimately that tribe sold her off to the Mojave. And some years later, about 6 years later, they released her. And so I guess her story is pretty well known in these parts. And so they named the city after her. So this is sort of the beginning of the city, or what would have been the city, right? You got your post office. And then you start working your way, winding down this small little mountain, right? I mean, just the sights are beautiful. The vistas are just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And anyway, so the town was a gold mining town, and there was multiple claims. The biggest ones really started in the 1900s, though, if I remember correctly from reading the history here. And it was, they pulled out of the mines in this area over its time, in today's equivalent of over $700 and something million in gold they got out of the mines here. It was one of the richest mines in the area. We're gonna go give this guy a little treat. Here we go. He's hiding in the shade. Here you go, buddy. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's pretty warm today in the sun. And so anyway, in 1924, there was a big fire which destroyed most of the buildings here. One of the only ones that survived was the hotel. It is now a historic landmark, and so it's protected. I do believe it's, if I remember reading it, was made out of adobe, right? So the rest of the buildings were rebuilt. Now, this was an active mining community until the beginning of World War II, when the government shut it down completely. Because, well, we needed the miners to go mine other types of minerals and materials, if you will, for the war effort. And then it never really opened up again. Now, this particular city still flourished, if you will, after the mines closed, only because this is historic Route 66. And so people that were on their way to California, which is behind me, were traveling this route. And so they turned themselves, instead of a mining town, into sort of a tourist destination, or at least catering to the people passing through, whether it was the hotel, restaurants, food, gas, whatever it was. Well, then in the mid-50s, the government rerouted Route 66 and turned it into a major interstate, making this town basically obsolete. And it turned into a ghost town. And it was basically withering away. In fact, in the census of 2010, I believe there was only right around 2,000 people that live in this area. So anyway, it's seen a bit of a revival because of well, what we're doing here, right? We show videos on YouTube and get some activity, if you will, and some knowledge out there and some history of the area. And so if you want a little place to go and you're in the area, if you're an RVer, there's places that you can boondock out here, or you can hook up out here, not exactly in Oatman, just outside of town, and come on in and see this place. It's a bit of American history, right? So that's that. So again, we appreciate you sticking around, and I know a few of you joined us late, but we appreciate it. If you're watching the replay, again, thank you so much. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, all right? And until we see everyone again, be safe.